Listen, I'm Boone Cutler. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, especially with finance. I mean, I've made a lot of mistakes in a lot of areas, but finance is a thing I just can't figure out. I don't come from that world. I don't come from a family who knew about banking, who knew about buying stuff, who traded stuff, who bought property. It wasn't my game. A lot of us in the warfighter community are in the same boat. So we get screwed over in a finance game. Our whole mission is screwed up. Also, a lot of first responders, same thing. We just don't come from that area of the world. But now we're going to change things because we got a guy who's plain spoken, who can speak to us, who can teach us, who can let us know what the real deal is, who knows what all the funky funk stuff is that they do behind the scenes when it comes to finance. I want to introduce you to Frank Abdo. Frank, how you doing, brother?
Hey, Boone. How are you, my friend? So nice to be with you.
I've been worse.
Nice to be with you, and great to have the opportunity to speak to the audience that we owe so much to.
It's our pleasure to be here, brother. So let's get this down, man. We're going to do this show. We're going to do, listen, 7 minutes, Sunday at 7. That's pretty easy to remember. You show up, you go to the YouTube channel. Every Sunday at 7 p.m., you're going to get 7 minutes of knowledge that you're just not going to be able to believe. It's going to change your life, going to change your family's life, because it's not just about you. It's about your family. Because if we weren't trained properly, I think it's probably imperative upon us to train our children properly. So this just isn't about you. It's about your kids, about your family. It's about your spouse. It's about living. It's about longevity. It's about security. Frank, let me ask you the first thing, man. I know, and you know, when it comes time to buy a car, a lot of people think they know, and they got all these little different schemes, and they got all these different plans, but you've seen behind the curtain. We haven't seen behind the curtain. And we know that guy. When we go there to buy that car, we see that car, and it's our dream car. It's the one we want. It's the perfect color. It's got the right amenities. It gets the right gas mileage. It's got the right price. We think it has the right price, and we tell that guy, yeah, we want that. And then all of a sudden, we give him the keys to our old car. We get the keys to the new car, and then we go into that place, that little tiny room where the guy doesn't smile anymore, and he's got all the tricks of the trade, and he pulls out this long sheet of paper with all these different charges on them that we didn't know about. And all of a sudden, boom, a price goes up for the car. We didn't know the price was going to go up for the car, but our heart's already set on it, and we already gave him our old keys. So what do we do, man? How do we get the angle of advantage in that situation?
Well, Boone, that's a great question, and it's not very complex. The dealership wants it to be complex because it's in their best interest to con and confuse you. Because if they can con you and confuse you at the same time, then you're going to be frustrated and you're just so anxious to get out of that dealership that you'll sign darn near anything they put in front of you. Here's what is the basic rules in buying a vehicle. I urge our listeners, when going to buy a new vehicle, and I'm going to use the word vehicle because I would actually prefer you buy a car, not a truck or a crossover, but a car if you're in a situation where money is a tight commodity with you. Why a car? Because cars aren't selling. And the dealer's desperate to get cars off his lot. And the car that's 2 to 3 years old is really not selling. And you can save thousands of dollars on a great used car. But whatever vehicle you choose, the first thing you should do is go to your bank or credit union and get pre-approved for the amount they're willing to finance you for, because they're going to give you the absolute best rates that you're going to get buying a vehicle. Once you have that, then when you go to
Wait. We got to slow it down for the slow kids like me. So what we're saying is you go to your bank or your credit union before you want to buy a car, and you decide a random amount, how much you need a loan for, or do you go pick out the car and then go get the loan? Which one comes first?
You get the loan approved first.
Okay.
You know, just get from the bank or the lender, a credible lender, how much you going to lend me for a car? You know, what's my credit line here? And then they'll run all the credit on you. It takes them however long it takes them with the technology, pretty quick. And they're going to say, okay, you know what, Mr. Smith, you're approved for a $60,000 vehicle.
Okay.
And now that doesn't mean that you have to buy a $60,000 vehicle, for heaven's sake.
No, but that's your max limit.
That's right.
They're helping you set up your budget.
Yeah, I mean, they're telling you when you go to the dealer, you know, what your room is. Now, once you have that in your hand, you've taken the most advantageous, profitable position away from that dealership. The finance and insurance is where they make their money. Most people think they make it in the car, the vehicle itself. I will say on new cars, that's not true. On used cars, it's true, but on the new vehicle, it's not so true. Once you're in the dealership, the reason you buy a car or a vehicle 2 to 3 years old is the warranties are better, the vehicle's exactly the same, except for a widget here and there. And the minute you stick the key in the ignition of a brand new, spanking new car, and those front wheels touch the public streets, that vehicle has dropped several $1,000s in value right then. The used vehicle, on the other hand, when you put those wheels on the public street, the value of that car did not move. It stayed right where it was when you bought it.
Okay, so if you use your own financing, you're getting a better price. They're helping you establish what your real budget is, not what the guy at the dealership's going to tell you. And if you buy a used car, you're not going to lose the value. So as soon as you drive off the lot, you're not at what they say upside down, and you're going to create a bigger problem for yourself.
That's exactly right, Boone. And in the negotiation process, when the first thing you do when you get there, find the vehicle you want. Don't tell the dealership that there's that you have a trade-in. They're going to ask you because they know you're driving something. What's your trade-in? I don't have a trade-in. What do you mean you don't have a trade-in? Oh, I'm giving my car to my kid or my uncle or whatever. I don't have a trade-in. I'm buying a car. What do you care?
Right. Okay.
and then figure out what you're buying. Negotiate the best deal you can. I mean, because that's up to you now. I mean, at that point, it's your decision.
Then we get into the haggle game, right?
Pardon?
We're getting into the haggle game at that point.
Well, you can haggle with them on the new car.
You want to buy it for a price.
Yeah, I mean, you can haggle on the car you're buying. Do that. Yeah. Do the best you can. Walk out if you have to, but whatever it is, negotiate the vehicle you're buying without divulging a trade-in. And then once that's done,
when you get the price you want, and then you slide that one in there, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? My uncle doesn't need a car. I am going to trade that in. So how much you going to knock off the price again? Is that how it works?
That's exactly how it works. Now, I mean, think about it for a minute. There's two vehicles. You've negotiated the first one, and now you have the opportunity to negotiate what he's given you for your car. But if you lump them together, you have no negotiation power. You've lost all your negotiation. But you've already outsmarted them. You've gotten the loan. You know what you're going to pay for. You know how much you can pay for the car. You are negotiated now 2 cars. You stayed away from the finance and insurance guy in the auto dealership. It's going to save you a lot of money. And of course, any dealer extras should be ignored and not taken. That is.
Wait. Let's run that down. Dealer extras. That's when you sit in there with the hairy green monster finance guy, and he says, "Oh, you got to make sure you have this, and you got to make sure you have that, and let me give you this, and you know you can come in and get all your what is that? Your oil changes for free for a year, and all those ups and extras. It's just all BS. That's what you're telling me."
You got it ice cold, Boone. That's absolutely correct. Don't take any of that stuff. Don't take any of their warranties. Don't take any of their, in the old days, they used to sell you undercoating, rust proofing,
Yeah.
Don't take any of that stuff. That is what the dealer wants you to do. Don't take it. Get the vehicle in your hands. These cars are very well made today. They last a long, long time, right from the factory. The cars today have a very long lifespan. And that's why I say a car 2 to 3 years old, because you'll save thousands. Or you could buy a $60,000 car that's stickered a couple of years ago for 60 grand. You could probably buy that for 40 grand, maybe even less. And you got a brand, and who knows? and you're in a great vehicle with a great warranty.
Let's break it down. Let's give the down and dirty. Don't let the dealer finance you. Get your financing from your bank or your credit union, so you'll have a lower rate. They'll pre-approve you ahead of time, so you know what you're working with when you get there. When you get to the dealership, don't tell them you have a trade-in. Pick out the car you want, negotiate the price of the car down, and then tell them, hey, I do want to sell my car now, so what are you going to give me for the trade-in to lower that price yet again? And when you go in to see that big green hairy monster that is the guy who makes you sign the contracts, everything he offers you, you say, no, c'est la vie, we're not going to do that. Is that about right?
Boone, that's great recap. You're really good at recapping and consolidating it. That is absolutely correct. That will save you lots of money, because remember, these payments go on for a long time, and having the proper interest rate on the proper loan will save you hundreds, thousands. And we can take the money you're saving and help you put it to better use than putting it in that dealer's pocket.
That's a smart move, and we're going to talk about that in other episodes of the show. Not only can you save money, but we're going to show you how to make your money work for you. And because you're saving money on that car loan, there's less likely chance you're not going to make your payments. So you're going to make your payments on time. Your credit's going to go up. You're going to have a much more happy life because you're going to have more money in your pocket, and you can put money towards other programs that are going to actually make you money. I like that plan, brother. I like that plan.
That's the whole idea, Boone. And see, you lied to these folks when you said you didn't know about finance. You know,
you just taught me. You just taught me. I learned it all right here, right now.
Okay.
You taught me.
Well, that's great. I don't know what to say.
Man, you're a genius. Frank is a genius. Frank is a genius.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right, Boone. We want to take a holistic approach. We want to help folks that need this help and feel victimized because they're in a world they don't understand, and it's not that complex. It really isn't. We just need to tell them.
We got to play by the rules of the environment we're in, and when we walk into a car dealership, we want to make sure we play by the rules that puts the advantage on our side, not their side. Thank you very much.
Exactly. Well, thank you, Boone. Thank you. Now, remember, we're going to do this, so these comments are welcome. Subscribe and click on the bell so they don't miss our next episode, right?
Exactly. And every Sunday at 7 for 7 minutes, get your ass in the seat right here. Get some more knowledge.
That's exactly right, because we're going to be here. Okay. Thanks, guys. See you next time.
All the way. Make it happen.